Welcome back to Collective Practice. I'm Lauren Spalding, and if you're new here, this is a podcast for mental health entrepreneurs where we talk about business, clinical skills, and mental health. And welcome to today's episode where I'm going to be sharing 5 tips for creating a successful online course. So if you're new, I will say this again, I very much encourage therapists to have more than one income stream in their business. I personally believe that therapists should have at least 3 income streams in order to create a sustainable practice that can continue to be value-based and remove this scarcity mindset that leads to reactive business management. As therapists, when we can increase our financial portfolio and expand the services that our business can offer, we allow for more opportunity within our company and we allow for more opportunity within the mental health field. So before we even get into the 5 tips, I want to take a moment and have you brainstorm what passive income would create for you as far as opportunity. What opportunities would another stream of income, specifically being passive income, meaning you're not having to exchange time for money, what would that bring to your business life and your professional life? How would that open up freedom and opportunity for yourself, for those that work with you, for those that you serve, and for your family? And this quick little moment that you take to think about your why is just such a grounding reminder of what brought you into this industry and what you hope to give back to the mental health community. And by expanding your income streams, you are creating the ability to be able to do so. So let's talk about one option for passive income, which is building an online course, having something readily available that people can purchase anytime, day or night, and can consume on their own time, where they are gaining skills from you, they're learning from your knowledge, and you are helping them with their therapeutic goals, even though you're not actually meeting with them live. Having an online course like this can be really beneficial to your practice overall because it's something that is accessible for various price points. It's something that you can always provide as a service even when your time is full. And it's something that can really bring potential clients to your business who are unsure about therapy, who aren't really sure if they even know how to address their mental health. And by purchasing the course, that could really help them through that initial process of getting on board with working on their mental health goals, which is really setting them up for success as a potential future therapeutic client. Now, the first tip that I have for creating an online course is to be intentional. Really take your time with this. Do not just throw something together and throw it out into the world. You really want to take some time to learn about the current market of therapists and other mental health professionals who are creating online courses. You want to see what that actually looks like and all of the different ways that you could set up a product for someone to purchase. And by taking the time to do this research and really learn from others, you are going to have a better idea of what you want to provide for the online community and how you want to put that together. What format do you like? What price points do you like? So on and so forth. If you really take the time to actually learn from others who are doing this, you're going to remove a lot of time wasted by trying to figure it out on your own and having to do a lot of trial and error. I also encourage you to be intentional with the course itself and the ideas that you have around creating something like this. If you approach this as a generalist or someone who wants to meet everyone's needs, or if you don't take the time to really hone in on your exact niche, it's going to be a harder product to sell in the future because people now, when they are looking for mental health services, are looking for something and someone who really speaks to their identity, to their needs, and to their goals. People who are seeking out mental health services now are less and less inclined to work with someone who's very vague on their services and what they do. Now, of course, that's not necessarily saying that you're going to miss out on those clients who are looking for that, who are saying, I just want to address my anxiety, or I don't even know where to start with my mental health. I just know that I feel like everything sucks right now. Those people are still going to find your course and they're still going to be really interested in it, even when your marketing language is a bit more specific, because they're still going to find something within that that speaks to them, and you're not going to shoo away people who aren't the specific niche that you actually hone in on. Think about your practice right now. Even as you start to corner more and more into your specialization and who you work with, you are still getting phone calls for people looking for general mental health services or who are unsure about their therapeutic issues. That's going to be the same case when you create a course. So you really want to be thoughtful and intentional of who do I really want to serve and what do I really want to help them work through. The more specific you can be, the more the stronger your course is going to be, and the stronger your voice around marketing this course is going to be. My second tip is to make sure you take some time to address perfectionism. If you notice that you naturally tend to hold yourself back because you want something to be perfect or you want to do it really well, you want to take some time to work on that mindset, because that's really going to hold you back from income that could be coming in from what you currently are doing. You have to get to a place where you can be okay with releasing drafts, where you can be okay with the idea that the first thing you create is not going to be your final product. And in fact, as you dive more and more into this, you're going to find that maybe you never have a final product, because you as a therapist are always learning, always growing, and always gaining more and more knowledge around therapeutic skills. So you're going to likely want to edit, cut things out, add things, and change around your course throughout your career. And that's okay. I really love that I learned that Pixar animators never feel like one of their films is complete. They always feel like they could have done more. And so they just get comfortable with being okay that it's not complete in their eyes. They're still releasing box office hits. They're still releasing classic films and favorite films for children now. But they're having to sit with that perfectionism, that thought of all of these ideas that are still swirling in their head that didn't get translated into the film, and all of these things that they would edit and change and perfect if they had all the time in the world. But if they were to do that, they would never, ever release a film. So it's so important that you make sure you're addressing your mindset throughout this process. Similarly to how we address our mindset as a therapist, we have to do our own work. We have to be cognizant of countertransference. We have to be aware of our biases when we are working with our clinical clients. That is the same thing when you consider tapping your skill set into something completely new and a completely different service. There is going to be hiccups, there's going to be mess ups, and you want to make sure that you're addressing that in a way that you can feel okay with that. Because there are going to be times of stress when you're creating something new, when you're putting something out there, in the same way that you felt that when you first became a therapist. You had to get your sea legs. You had to take that time to really grow into the services that you were providing. And that's going to be the same growth journey with providing a course for someone who is looking for similar services, but not necessarily one-on-one therapy. So I encourage you to really think through how you engage with your perfectionism, how you experience it, and what are some of those growth edges that you could start to address. And that takes me into my third tip, which is to embrace automation. Be okay with taking time to invest in the right services for your product. Don't just go cheap with this. Now, I am all about being really mindful of your overhead and making sure that you're not just investing in everything under the sun for your private practice. But when it comes to creating a course, automation is going to be your best friend. If you try and Frankenstein things together and do it all yourself while you're still seeing clinical clients, while you're still running a private practice, you are going to immediately experience overwhelm. You're going to immediately experience a level of stress that you don't have to, and you are not going to be able to find success in your course because you're trying to do everything yourself. So you want to look into different services offered for online courses and different services offered for marketing, emails, getting someone from your website all the way to signing up for your course. There's so much automation out there that can help you with your business and can help you with this becoming truly passive income and not a whole nother thing in your practice that requires 20 hours of you a week. And you've experienced automation as a client. If you've ever gotten a text message to let you know that your order has arrived, you've gotten those email updates on something that you purchased. If you've ever looked into a product and then you saw it pop up on Instagram reminding you that you might be interested in this, all of that is automation that that company invested in to serve you as their customer or their potential customer. And that level of service and level of care is expected of customers these days. My fourth tip is for when you are ready to create something. After you've taken the time to do the research and really look into everything involved in creating an online course, if you're ready to launch, this tip is necessary. And I know that it feels like it's backwards, but this is a tip that any person who's created an online course or any type of product will tell you. You do not want to create it before you have a customer. You want to sell it first and then create the product. Otherwise, you have spent hours and hours of your time creating a product for no one, to an invisible audience. And once you go to sell it, there's going to be a period of time where you've got to market it, where you've got to get it out there, where you've got to really sell the value of your product. And that's going to be incredibly frustrating if through that marketing you realize that your course needs to pivot. So instead, you want to be doing the market research for your ideal client. You want to figure out what style of marketing you want to go for, whether it's social media or email marketing or networking or a combination of all these different versions of marketing. And then you want to sell the product, because if you go to sell it and you realize no one's buying it, you haven't created the product yet, and that's okay. You want to look into what's going wrong here. Why aren't my ideal clients seeing the value in what I'm creating? Am I marketing to the wrong people? Am I needing to reassess the curriculum and switch it around a little bit? Is there a potential issue with the landing page where they go to purchase it? Is it a technical issue that needs to be addressed? All of that can be sussed out and things can be adjusted to make sense to what you're selling before you even spend a minute creating the course. That way, once you start taking the time to create the course, you know exactly what people are expecting. You know how to reach your ideal client, and you've got an audience. You've got potential customers who are waiting for that product. And you've got customers. You've sold it. Even if you sold it to 3 people, those are customers. And it's time now to create the product. And this is going to, in the long run, be more beneficial to you and your business than if you were to do it in reverse and take the time to create everything and then start marketing it and then start trying to sell it. That's going to be a lot more stressful, and it's going to potentially cause some huge headaches if you have to change things after you spent hours and hours creating that content. And the final tip I have for creating a successful online course is for you yourself as the business owner to be in community with other therapists or other people who have a similar goal to you. This is going to be so helpful in you being able to problem solve with people, to collaborate, to gain feedback right away. And that's going to take out hours and hours of you trying to figure it out yourself. If you're in community with other therapists who are embracing online therapy, who have similar goals to create a similar product for their practice or create a similar service, it's going to be so helpful for y'all to learn from each other, to bounce ideas, to even vent about the stress that's involved as we add something to our business. I mean, we all go through growing pains as our practice grows, and it's so much more doable and it feels so much better when we feel like we're in community versus feeling isolated. So I strongly encourage you to look into having even one or two people who you're in community with, where you can all collaborate together as you're moving towards this goal of adding an income stream into your practice. So those are my 5 tips for creating a successful online course. Be intentional and do your homework. Address ideas of perfectionism. Be engaged with the community. Don't create before you sell, and embrace automation. These 5 things are really going to help you to feel like you have a successful launch of your product and that you're able to actually feel the benefits of having this passive income stream added to your services. So that's everything I've got for you today. Thank you so much for spending time with me. Be sure to rate, review, and subscribe. It's free and it's the easiest way to support this podcast and help it reach other people. And be sure to share today's episode with a friend, a colleague, or anyone who could benefit from this information. Also, be sure to follow me on my other social medias where I post even more content for mental health entrepreneurs. And lastly, if you are interested in the Collective Practice membership, be sure to read the description in the bio where I share more information about it, and you can email me so that we can connect on how you could become a member. This membership is for mental health entrepreneurs, and it is focused all around supporting your business, increasing your income streams, helping you in developing your clinical skills and growing your practice. And I love, 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 love this membership. I love being able to support you and giving you those step-by-step business skills that you've been looking for to create the private practice of your dreams. Thanks so much, and I'll look forward to seeing you in the next episode. Bye.